Today marks 60 years since Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama. On this day in 1965, hundreds of civil rights advocates gathered for a march for voting rights. They were marching from Selma to the state capital of Montgomery. But those demonstrators were met by police officers and state troopers who pushed them back, brutally beating some of them. The violence was condemned around the country and led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act later on that year. Let's go to CBS News correspondent Elise Preston. She is live in Selma, Alabama today with someone who was at that historic march 60 years ago. Elise?
Yeah, Liz, it has been surreal this whole day. We've been surrounded by people who were here 60 years ago. We're at the base of the Edmund Pettus Bridge, so the marchers would have come across this way. We're not able to go up that way right now at the moment because of security checks. But right here, we do have Miss Ruth Brown Anthony, who was here 60 years ago. And Miss Ruth, you were just 14 on the day of Bloody Sunday. Tell me, first off, you got involved in the movement when you were just 9.
Yes.
Why?
I got involved in the movement when I was 9 because I didn't realize that there was a difference. And my mom went to the store. My mom and I went to the store, and she was getting ready to pay for her products. And 3 little white girls walked in. My mom had to step back and let those little girls get in front of her. That's the day I realized something is not right. That's when I got involved in wanting to do something to help our people get it right. We weren't about voting. We was about respect.
About respect.
Yes.
And I mean, you were only 9. I can't even imagine what went through your body and your mind, even though you walked us through that. But take us now to Bloody Sunday. You were 14. We have a picture. I'm not sure if we're able to share that with our viewers. We have a picture right before you all were getting ready to march. Oh, we do have the picture right here. Let's go ahead and show that to our viewers. It really shows just how young you were. You had a lollipop in your mouth. What were you thinking before the march started?
What I was thinking before that march started, like I did for every march, that it could make a difference. All I wanted to do was make a difference for our people because they couldn't do it. My mom couldn't march because she was afraid of losing her job. She was making $15 a week to feed 6 kids. And so they couldn't march. So I know I had to do it for my mom. Every march I went on was for my mom.
Yeah. And so you and your friends, you started to march across the bridge. Where were you when the violence broke out?
Well, we were, I can't show.
Yeah, you were
right in the middle of the bridge, where that arch is right there. We were in the middle of the bridge, excited.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting ready to do something exciting. And all of a sudden, we got across the river and we saw a sea of blue. Not expecting to see that. And then John Lewis said, let's kneel and pray. We knelt down to pray, and while we were kneeling to pray, they came by with horses, and they started throwing canisters of tear gas. We just burst. I ended up by the river. I lost my friends who I was with. I came back up by myself. I ran across there with a horse, the man with the horse right beside me. I ran back to Brown Chapel Church. When I got to Brown Chapel Church, I fell in my mom's arm, and I asked her, how can one set of colored people hate us because another set of people because of the color of our skin? And I cried because I didn't understand it, you know.
Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
And it's still to this day, it's still emotional.
Yeah.
And like I said, 60 years later, I still get emotional about that day.
What emotions are you feeling today?
I feel sad. I really feel sad. I still feel sad because, you know, we can still march today for the same thing we marched for 60 years ago. Selma's back segregated. We're going through the same thing. They want to take our history away from us. And our history is American history. And so I feel sad that we marched for this and nothing happened. The same thing. We're right back where we started from.
And when you say we're right back where we started from, you are dedicated to telling your story, telling the story of the foot soldiers and everything that happened. This story cannot be forgotten.
It cannot be forgotten. That's why I tell the young kids today, I said, go talk to your elders and let them tell you what went on so you won't forget. Because a lot of kids say, we made it. We hadn't made it. Yeah. We still have a long way to go. And I don't want them to forget. Because, you know, if you forget, you tend to repeat. And I don't want them to forget the struggle we went through, starting at 9 years old. And they can go for the same thing today. I can march today for the same thing. We got to vote, but they sell it for a fish sandwich and a beer. Yeah. You know, and it's just sad. It breaks my heart, the struggle we went through, and to see it reverting back.
Yeah. Well, Miss Ruth, we thank you so much for sharing your story and your sentiments with us, and look forward to speaking with you more and other foot soldiers through the weekend as we mark 60 years since Bloody Sunday. Liz?
Elise, I'm speechless. I mean, it just takes your breath away hearing her story. At 14 years old, she was on that bridge marching with those people, and she witnessed that day and running into her mother's arms. And the fact she's able to speak about it today, her story should not be forgotten. Thank you so much for that report. And let's look at the backdrop. I mean, look at where you're standing. I mean, history was made right where you are 60 years ago. And remarkable report. Thank you so much.